When my son was growing up, he loved to show livestock. And my wife says, I don't know if I want him to do this the rest of his life, you know, because farming isn't just the easiest way to make a living. And I says, well, he's out there. And he had not only 1, but 2, 3, 4, 5 calves, and he was hauling the water to them every morning before he went to school and chopping the ice and feeding them and taking care of them. And I says, geez, I just don't think we can break him of his habits, you know. It's just in his blood to do it.
It was fun, you know, that's what I grew up with, and that was, you know, everybody asked what my hobby was, and I said, well, my hobby is farming, you know, that's just what I did, and that's who I am. In 2016, calving season was a real tough one for us. We calved outside, and the weather was not cooperating at all. It was muddy, and then the snows came in, so the lot stayed messy the whole time. And so we ended up calving outside that year, and it was just rough on everybody, you know, between snowstorms and everything else. My son was working off the farm that time. After going through that, we just decided, I think this might be kind of where we need to go in our operations. We kind of looked into different hoop buildings and looked at a lot of different styles to kind of decide what we liked. It's kind of nice having the hoop barn because we can calve in there, we can breed in there, we can ultrasound in there. Basically, our barn runs east and west. It's 368 feet long with 4 different pens, and it's 46 feet wide. What also is really nice is on the west side of the barn is we have a working system. That's kind of the layout of our barn, and it works really well. Boy, when you get inside the hoop barn, a lot of differences to me were that, you know, you take a lot of the environment or the weather out of the picture. We can stop the wind from 3 different directions, east, north, and west. A lot of people bring it in because they have a son or daughter who wants to get back in the operation, you know, and that's the way we looked at it. And I believe the hoop barn was one of the main reasons I came back. You know, I think it would have been pretty difficult for me to come back without the hoop building, and I'm really glad we put it up because I've been enjoying coming back to the farm. To have a son back in the operation is really kind of just a fulfilling thing, you know. I think, you know, coming back to my dad was probably something he always wanted too, you know. To pass down from generation to generation is very important to our family. My wife is now expecting too, so I hope that's something I can do down the road too. And you know, as a father, you're always going to want to pass down what you've built up to the next generation. So I'm sure in the back of my dad's mind, he was pretty happy that I was coming back. Being the 3rd generation and going on the 4th, it's kind of neat to see a legacy live on. You know, there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears goes into all this.
To learn more about growing your community through animal agriculture, contact the Alliance for the Future of Agriculture in Nebraska. Brought to you by the Nebraska soybean farmers and their checkoff in support of Nebraska animal agriculture.